Hello everyone, welcome back to my Chem Corner. So in today's video, we are going to do yet another passing package for second PUC from the part Organic Chemistry. So before we start the video, if you're new here, please do hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you receive notifications as and when I upload any video. So in this video, we're going to discuss more about the passing package from Organic Chemistry. Now, organic chemistry as an entire part of chemistry, it's an entire part in your textbook. So the entire part 2 is organic chemistry. Now, I'm not going to go pretty much chapter wise in this because organic chemistry as a whole has only equations, mechanisms, name reactions. There's not much really difference like other chapters that we did. So I'm going to go through it roughly through the possible questions that are asked and the compulsory questions that will be there in the paper for the entire organic chemistry. So in organic chemistry, you're learning about different functional groups chapter wise, right? So there, first thing that you're learning, the first chapter that you're learning is related to haloalkanes and haloarenes. The second chapter is related to alcohols, phenols and ether. All right. The third chapter is related to your carbonyl compounds like your aldehyde, ketone and carboxylic acid. The fourth one is related to amines. The fifth one is biomolecules. The sixth one is polymer. And the seventh one is chemistry in everyday life. Alright. Now, in the first 4 chapters, there are certain things that are very much common. So in the chapters here, what is more common in these 4 are name reactions. That's more common of these 4 chapters. So now, how are you going to learn them? Because definitely per chapter, one name reaction will be there. So all that you will do is you take out haloalkanes and haloarenes, check through your book, make a list of name reactions like your Schwarz reaction, Finkelstein, fatigue, Woods fatigue and all of that. Make a list chapter wise. Possibly you can study with the general reaction. Places where general reaction are not there and you're just using the R group, particular R group, you can use the R group. So you have to write down chapter wise each of these name reactions. And if I'm not wrong, maximum number of name reactions falls in third organic chemistry chapter, which is aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acid. The number is coming up to 12 or 13 name reactions. That's more important. So all these, what I would suggest you to do is put down the name reactions chapter wise. Only then you will be able to remember it. Alright. Now, other than this, what is the one that's going to be asked frequently in the paper? What is for sure there in the paper? From your very first chapter, SN1, SN2 mechanism. That is the mechanism as well as the stereochemical mechanism. So total 4 mechanisms from this chapter are there. All 4 of it you need to know. Now when you learn stereochemical mechanism, you should also be aware which of the mechanism will give inversion of configuration, retention of configuration as products. That's more important too. Alright, so SN1, SN2 mechanism is the mechanism that will be any one of it. Either the regular mechanism or the mechanism with the stereochemistry will be asked in the exam. Okay, now from the second chapter, which mechanism is asked? The acid catalyzed dehydration of ethanol to ethene. 3 videos before this, I've done the mechanism in detail. Just a single video explaining ethanol to ethene mechanism. If you're someone who's not really understood how to do it, please go through this video and it will help you. It's just 3 videos before this particular one. So I've told in detail how to do it. That's a 3-marker question. Then another one named, another mechanism that's asked is mechanism of addition of HCN to aldehyde or a ketone. Aldehyde or a ketone. Alright, this one mechanism can be asked for a 2-marker. So these are like for sure questions that will be there in your paper. So ensure that you know name reactions from all chapters and you know these mechanisms from these 3 chapters. Alright, now apart from this, another 1 marker or 2 marker, they can possibly ask complete the following reactions. For that, I would suggest you to go through past year's papers. If you're not someone who's, kind of not really comfortable with organic chemistry, you're not really thorough with organic chemistry, for the remaining type of questions, please go through past year's papers to see how to complete a particular reaction. Alright, so these are the compulsory questions from organic chemistry. Now from biomolecules, what is important? Alright, just like how I've explained it to you in the chapter, in that video where I spoke to you about blueprint, you have structural elucidation of glucose, right? Under that you're learning so many equations. You're trying to prove that you have a carbonyl carbon on the first carbon. Then you're trying to prove that of the carbonyl carbon, it is the aldehydic carbon that is there. Then you are trying to prove that you have 5 hydroxyl groups. Out of that, you're trying to prove that you have one primary carbon. And you're trying to prove that you have pentaacetate. By doing a reaction where you're getting pentaacetate, you're trying to prove that you have secondary carbons in there. So, like this, you're learning around 5-6 equations in it. Correct? Any one equation from structural elucidation can be asked. They will ask you, write a reaction to show or to prove the presence of 5 hydroxyl group in glucose, or show the presence of aldehydic group in glucose by taking an equation. So they will ask one equation out of it. Definitely they will not ask you to explain the entire structural elucidation. Those are generally asked for much higher classes. For PUC, they don't really ask. What they will ask is one single reaction out of it. And they're all based on the previous organic chapters that you did. Then another thing that they can ask out of biomolecule is under disaccharides. Okay, under disaccharides, we have learned structure of 3 disaccharides. If I'm not wrong, it's sucrose, maltose and lactose. Alright, 3 are learned. Out of these 3, one disaccharide structure can be asked. Alright, one of the disaccharide structure will be asked for the exam. That's for a 2 marker. Now apart from this, we have learned vitamin as a small portion. So in that they can ask the deficiency. I'm sure this is something that you've learned from high school, so it shouldn't be very difficult. Deficiency can be asked, or what you say, or and sources, or they can ask you what is the thing that you can take to avoid it and all of that. Or they can ask you deficiency, they can give you deficiency and ask you to identify the type of vitamin that's causing this, right? All of that. So that is one thing. Then the last thing that they can ask is on nucleic acid. Under nucleic acid, they can ask you the definition and give an example of, say, essential amino acid or a non-essential amino acid. Definitely you have an entire table. They're not going to ask you draw the structure of the amino acid alanine, draw the structure of the amino acid glycine. They're not going to do all of that. They will ask you to write an example. No structures will be asked for nucleic acid. They will ask you to write an example of, say, one essential amino acid, one non-essential amino acid. So I would suggest you to go through one example under each category. Alright, now after this, so after this, that's another thing that they can ask is one question on your DNA RNA. Very commonly asked question, what is that nitrogen base present in RNA but not in DNA? Or what is that nitrogen base present in DNA and not in RNA? So this is something that they can ask in your 1 marker question from biomolecules. So this is just the outline of what your entire thing in the biomolecule is. Now under polymers, you are only learning preparations of polymer by condensation polymerization or by addition polymerization. If you know the structure, I'm telling it to you all, if possible, do this chapter. Otherwise, since you have a very wide option, chances are the last two chapters can be skipped out, polymers and chemistry in everyday life, because you have other chapters where you can score better. All right, because polymers is a lot more of preparation of polymer, like your preparation of PVC, preparation of polyacrylonitrile, preparation of polythene, preparation of buna-S. So unless you're very thorough with the structure of the reactants, getting a product is not very difficult. But you should be able to remember these many equations. So that possibly, if you're not someone who's really comfortable, you can just skip it out, because you have other important chapters which you're learning here already. Then the last thing under chemistry in everyday life is all about, the examples of different kinds of medicines, different kinds of drugs. Like, for example, define analgesic, define antiseptic, give the classification of a narcotic, non-narcotic drug, and things like that. Or what is the mechanism of these things in our body and things like that. So those kind of questions. Anyway, chemistry in everyday life comes only for 4 marks. So I would suggest you all to skip it, because you have other options everywhere else. So this is what briefly your entire organic chemistry is. So what you need to focus on is what I've written on the screen. The remaining part of it is up to the way you're trying to revise your question papers, past year question papers. That will help you on organic chemistry. So this is what is the passing package for organic chemistry. If you're trying to skip it, please, I'm telling you, that's a very bad idea of doing it, skipping organic chemistry, because organic chemistry carries very heavy weightage when you look at your question paper. So do not skip your organic chemistry. At least these points that I wrote on this side of your screen, at least these topics, please make it thorough, because these are something that will be there. Apart from this, if you don't make the other things thorough, make sure that physical and organic chemistry is thorough. But this, at least these points to be made thorough, so that will at least help you score better percentage in your exam. Alright, so this was all about passing package. So I've done the passing package for the entire syllabus now, covering in 3 different videos. So the first video I've done in physical chemistry, the second one was inorganic, and the third one is in organic. So please go through these videos. Ensure, please keep in mind that this is only for second PUC students. It's not for the CBSE board students. It's only for the second PUC students. That's why I've clearly mentioned it's a second PU passing package. Please go through this. At least learn the passing package. It will give you much more than passing marks. Alright, but ensure that you know 100% of the passing package, and not just, I'm going to do this one topic, I'm going to do the other topic and leave the others. That's not going to happen. You have to learn all of the passing package. Ensure you know 100% of passing package. Only then you can secure that much higher than just pass. Alright, so if you want any other revision videos, please do not hesitate to put it in the comment box, and I will be doing it for you. But if you want any revision, if you have any question paper that you want me to solve, please ensure you send it to me through my email. Email ID will be there in the description box of all videos. So if you randomly open any video also, you will get my email ID. So if you want me to do any problem that you're stuck with, you want me to solve a question paper or a part in a question paper or a particular problem or an equation, please do not hesitate. I will do it for you all. But if you want anything, please ensure that you send me an email in the comment box, in the mail ID mentioned in the description box. Alright, I'll see you in another video. Thank you so much for watching.